Hey, here's kind of a walkthrough of what I had going for the Reborn demos for TJ216 or songs from Interlochen. Kind of the basic tone comes from this National, which I got at Fanny's in Nashville a couple of years ago. They told me what year it was, but I completely forgot. This pickup is very old, and it's got kind of a microphone quality to it. If you yell into it, it'll actually come through the amp, and it's just kind of mounted on this bar, so I've kind of jammed it. At times I've taped it, you can see in the past that it's come off, but it just kind of has one output. It's this arch top with the F holes. It feeds back really easy, which ended up kind of being part of the sound. I took the pick guard off of it, but it has kind of an extended, very jazz guitar-esque. I did a lot of finger picking, I think, on TJ216, that the individual track I actually used a pick, but everything else was finger picking. I'm running through these pedals, just kind of a mishmash of what I've had over the years. This is just a power supply. Back when I had a bigger board, I bought the Walrus Audio Phoenix, and it's got quite a few ports on it. I only ever use a couple now, but I haven't gotten rid of it because you really can't sell it for anything close to what I bought it for, which is interesting. It's way more useful than that. This first pedal is where a lot of the tone comes from. It's called the Mandoala. I bought that from East Side Music Supply in Nashville a couple of years ago. I went in with, I don't even know if it was my guitar, but I went in and just kind of tried a bunch of their overdrives. And I was just trying to find something that I actually enjoyed the tone for. And this ended up just sounding really nice. It has two controls. It's got more, which is volume and distortion or overdrive. And then this meat is a low cut, which is honestly really useful. I just put it at the beginning of the chain and I chop off a bunch of the low end. This more, I leave it in different places depending on what I want, but it has no output attenuation, so it gets really loud, which is also kind of nice. Sometimes you just need to boost a signal, maybe on an old guitar like this. So it's kind of dual purpose, but it really has one sound. No matter what guitar you run through it, it sounds exactly the same. The other probably main part of the tone is this Mantic Proverb. I thought it was called Proverb when I bought it, but also East Side. I just went in and tried all their reverbs, and I found this one sounded really good. It's got a handful of different parameters on it. I've always found if I bump numb up all the way and dwell all the way down, I just prefer that. And then I left the mix like super low because I was trying not to overdo it for the project. But the other thing it has, which you'll hear a lot on the record, is this oscillate switch, which I guess I can't give you an example, but it kind of just starts feeding back. And originally I didn't like it as a feature. I just like the actual reverb itself because there's no output attenuation and it'll just get screaming loud. So not very useful, but I found with this project running through just a microphone, as long as I kept a compressor on the channel, I could slam the oscillator and it would feedback, but the volume wouldn't jump up too loud. So I actually ended up using it a lot. You'll hear it a lot on the project. Only once, I think, do I actually have like real genuine feedback. All the rest of the time, it's this oscillate knob. The last thing in my chain that I really use is this Tech 21 fly rig. I kind of ended up with this from my church. I bought it, and I use it's kind of got three. It's got like a distortion, hot. It's got an overdrive channel, and then it's got a delay channel. I use the overdrive here to tighten things up a little bit. I cut some low end, add some high end. That pickup, that jazz pickup, is very, very bassy, but it doesn't change the tone entirely. The other thing I'm doing with this delay is actually creating like a super close slapback. I have the time set like almost immediate, and it kind of just doubles the signal. I've seen some people do that with choruses and stuff, and it ended up being a nice effect. So that's on for probably the entire project. And then the last thing I have is the Alamo. I think they told me that this amp was from the 70s. I bought it from Carter's Vintage in Nashville for $300. It's got 3 inputs on the back. One is broken. I have no idea. I've been told that if it has multiple inputs, that they're different impedances or that they have different tone. I haven't found that to be true. And then it's just got 2 knobs. It's got like a tone and volume, and this acts as the power switch as well. So I tend to crank the tone because, again, that guitar is very low end heavy, and it had quite a lot of buzz, so I ended up leaving the volume pretty low to avoid hearing too much of it. And then besides that, I just mic'd it with this 58 that I stole from the church so I could record. Don't worry, I'll put it back. And then I kind of just had it right off the grill just a little bit. It was a really simple setup. In the past, I've done more of like an isolation rig, but this time I just had it right on the floor, and then I was tracking into the 18i8, just says channel 1. So that's the whole setup.